What do you think about when you think of Rainbow Six Siege? Is it the fact that it's an extremely tactical first person shooter game? Is it the destruction you could use to get kills or give your team an advantage? Is it the creativity you could use to win rounds? Or maybe it's the large variety of operators you could choose from. There's a lot of things that make Siege so unique compared to other FPS games, but there's one thing I didn't mention that really sets it apart from a lot of other FPS games. That's the fact that you're able to one-shot headshot with any gun in the game. This Siege mechanic has been around since the launch of the game and has been an iconic part of Siege. However, nowadays it seems to be hated. But why? Well, it seems that the casual players, content creators, and even pro players think that one-shot headshot is too OP and should be taken out of the game. There's a lot of people that think that one-shot headshot is just way too powerful of a mechanic and is something that hurts the Siege experience. Now, I can understand some people's frustrations with the one-shot headshot mechanic. Yes, it does suck when you die to one singular bullet to the head, but honestly, how often does it even happen to you? I feel like the one-shot headshot mechanic is something that, for the most part, takes a lot of skill to be able to actually get one. Now yes, there are times when someone just gets lucky and hits you in the head on accident, but if you want to hit headshots consistently, it takes some serious skill. It would require hours and hours of aim training to be able to hit headshots consistently on a game-to-game basis, which is something that would take a lot of time, effort, and experience to achieve. So really, are one-shot headshots that OP, or are they much harder to hit than you really think? Especially if you're just a casual player. Maybe at the highest level of the game, they could be more frequent because of how good some of those people are in the higher ranks. But for the majority of people, you're not hitting headshots consistently, so it doesn't even really affect you that much. Not to mention the fact that every single gun in the game is balanced around the one-shot headshot mechanic. Why do you think the attacker's guns deal more damage but have a slower fire rate compared to most defender guns? It's because the game has been balanced around the one-shot headshot mechanic. The developers know that since the attackers have higher magnification sights, that they could easily see the defender's head a lot quicker. So defenders have to have some way to counter this, which is being able to shoot their gun a lot quicker. Without the potential to get a one-shot headshot, it would just make all the higher damage weapons be the better option. This would ruin the weapon balancing in the game and would require the developers to have to do some major reworking. Additionally, the one-shot headshot mechanic is something that's just iconic and what I feel is a staple to Rainbow Six Siege. Without it, it would feel less like Siege and more like similar FPS games on the market. The one-shot headshot is something that makes Siege unique and stand out compared to other FPS games. It's something that people spend hundreds of hours in the game just to get consistent with them. Likewise, the one-shot headshot is something that people are able to use to make certain plays even possible in Siege. For example, if you're in a 1v5 situation, you could potentially win the round just because of the fact that you could get a headshot or two on the enemies, giving you enough time to kill the rest of the enemies and win the round. Now, this scenario is completely possible without having to get headshots, but the headshots help to make the odds more in your favor. I think without one-shot headshots, huge clutch moments would be less frequent, just because without them, there's less of a chance to take on multiple enemies. Finally, the one-shot headshots create more of a skill gap. As I said, the more casual player is not going to be consistently hitting headshots. Really, only the top players in the game are going to have the capability to consistently hit headshots. So this creates more of a skill gap in the game. I think the bigger a game's skill gap is, the better it is because it gives a lot more room to improve and better yourself. So if one-shot headshots create more of a skill gap, then I'm all for them. In conclusion, I think one-shot headshots should stay in Rainbow Six Siege because they're not as OP as you really think they are. Really, only the best players are consistently hitting headshots, so the majority of people that play the game don't even die from headshots that often. Not to mention, every single gun in Rainbow Six Siege is designed around the one-shot headshot mechanic. Also, they are an iconic part of Siege, they help to win intense clutch situations, and they create a skill gap in the game. I think one-shot headshots are here to stay, whether people like it or not, It just wouldn't make sense for the developers to remove a core mechanic from the game. That's it for me though. What are your opinions on the one-shot headshot mechanic in Rainbow Six Siege? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like. And if you want more content like this, then subscribe. Have a great day, everyone.